Electricity is the set of physical phenomena associated with the presence and motion of the matter that has a property of electric charge. Electricity is related to magnetism both and part of the phenomenon of electromagnetism. What are the sources that used to produce electric? The sources that used to produce electric are fossil fuel, water, wine, and renewable energy. So, to give you the correct image how the source were used, uh, the next I will provide the video that will explain to you.
We gather most of our energy from coal, oil, and natural gas, also known as fossil fuels. Additionally, we gather energy from biomass, nuclear, and renewables. Fossil fuels consist of extracted decomposed organisms and plants that existed millions of years ago. Biomass converts plants into biometric material to produce energy. Nuclear energy is released. Lastly, renewable energy comes from a source that's not depleted when used, such as wind or solar power.
How it was produced. To produce electric, we need something that can produce energy to move the turbine, so turbine they can move the generator to generate electric. uh, so the concept and theory of how electric were produced by using the source that can produce energy will be shown in the video.
Electricity is generated by converting various forms of energies into electrical energy. One of the most common methods is using kinetic energy to rotate a magnet surrounded by coils of wires to generate electrical current. In order to create the kinetic energy needed to rotate the magnet, various energy resources can be used. Natural gas is one of the resources used commonly in Malaysia. The combustion process creates high-pressure gas that rotates a turbine, which then turns the magnet. In a combined cycle power plant, the exhaust gas will also be used to heat up water to create steam to rotate another turbine. The movement of the magnets in the generators produces electrical energy. Coal is another resource commonly used in Malaysia and the rest of the world. By burning coal, heat is generated to boil water, which turns into steam. The steam power is then used to rotate the turbine. Historically, the generation mix in Malaysia was predominantly oil-based. However, oil shocks led many countries to re-evaluate their over-dependency on oil for electricity generation. The government introduced the four-fuel policy in 1981, diversifying our generation mix into hydro, gas, coal, and oil. A diverse generation mix eliminates the danger of over-relying on any single fuel for electricity generation. Today, electricity in Malaysia is powered by 54.4% of natural gas and 40.2% of coal, with hydropower and oil making up for the remainder. In 2001, the government introduced the five-fuel policy, where renewable energy was recognized as the fifth fuel. Currently, renewable energy is developed in a small scale due to technological and cost constraints. As technology progresses, who knows in the future, renewable energy may be able to power more households and industries to complement the conventional power plants.
Question 3. Does relying on a fossil fuel might affect the sustainability of an electric generation? Yes, as we know, the fossil fuel resources become decreased through time. Uh, Maybe one day we there is no other source that using the fossil fuel. We might not only, but because we not only use the fossil fuel to generate electric, we also use for other thing like cars using using petrol to move the car. That's why we should go to the another alternative energy source like renewable energy source that cannot be cannot affect the through the time because it was always renewable. What about building nuclear power plant in Malaysia, like the most advanced country like USA? On my opinion, I think it was not worth to build in Malaysia because we did not have a stable and more uh, nuclear resources to use in nuclear power plant. Uranium and plutonium source in Malaysia were insufficient to use it to generate electric. If we really want to use a nuclear power plant in Malaysia, we have to buy the source uranium and plutonium from other country. Then when it happen, it will cost a lot of money just to produce electricity. If a nuclear power plant that built in Malaysia happen, what is the disaster that waiting if in Malaysia if the nuclear power plant was built? The disaster will be catastrophic even in Malaysia because we can take the nuclear Chernobyl nuclear plant as example. Chernobyl was 3 times bigger than Peninsula Malaysia itself. So if the nuclear power plant built in Malaysia and the disaster happened, maybe Peninsula Malaysia will not exist anymore. Or it was an inhabitable like Chernobyl, become a ghost town, become yes, because people live. Because it was not safe to live it there anymore.